So, you got your calculator. Wow, big deal. And then let's throw in a notebook and a pencil, might as well. And well, this is a great setup. We can do so much graphing calculator stuff, such as drawing an amazing graph just like this. But, what if there was more? What if we can do this? This is a Minecraft clone running on a TI-Nspire calculator. Hello all, before we get into this video, I really hope you enjoy it, as I'm hoping to make a little bit more sophisticated videos than just a simple, oh, this is what I bought this month, or oh, this is how to do a kind of a simple thing. I'm hoping to branch out a little more, so if you really enjoy this video or find it helpful at all, please like, comment, subscribe, leave any feedback at all. Even a dislike is feedback to me, so any feedback at all really does help. Anyway, let's get into it. Alrighty, let's begin. This is the TI-Nspire CX graphing calculator by Texas Instruments. This was bought at Goodwill for $5, as you can see here. This is not the calculator from the intro though. However, this calculator is the one I will be demonstrating on. So to begin, we will power on the calculator, make sure it obviously works. In this case, I know it works. Next thing first, we are going to see what software version it is on. So we will go to Settings and Status. Now this is on 4.0.3.29, which is a somewhat older version. So we are going to go ahead and update this calculator to the latest supported version of Ndless. Ndless is how we will be running these homebrew apps on our calculator. So let's get this calculator connected and we can update it. Alright, now that we are on the computer, we can talk about Ndless and how to get everything installed and set up. So Ndless is more or less an unlocker that unlocks the ability to run homebrew apps. In this case, you can see apps, other coding languages, OS enhancements is what they advertise. And the big thing here is the supported calculators and operating systems. So Ndless is for the CX series calculators, and as you can see, here are the supported operating systems for Ndless. Now, we are not on this list, which is why we are going to be installing 4.5.5.79 to our calculator. Pause. It is very important to note that when you update your calculator's operating system, it will be completely reset. Only do this if you know your calculator's information is not important and you are fine with starting over on your calculator. Now, these other links up here are also very important. So, you can read more on Ndless on this page, but to begin, we are actually going to get the operating system for our calculator update. So here we will have the Texas Instruments CX handheld operating systems, which is right here, and we will simply be installing or downloading this right here. So once we get this link downloaded, we will also be installing the TI Computer Link software. This software allows us to connect our CX graphing calculators to the computer. This will let us transfer files over, including our update, as well as our Ndless files. Next, we will be actually downloading the Ndless software itself. So this is Ndless R 2020 for OS 4.5.5.79. It also works on the CX2 models, which is this OS operating system right here. And we will be installing, or downloading, I mean, this zip file here. Next, I will also be showcasing getting an app set up at least. So this I will be showing Crafti, which is a somewhat Minecraft port to the Texas Instruments Nspire calculator. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly get all these downloaded here, which for this we will be downloading the crafti.tns. Now TNS is basically our app file extension, so let's get all this downloaded and installed for the computer link software. Alrighty, now that we have our TI-Nspire computer link software right here, we are going to go ahead and plug in our calculator. Now, I didn't go over the installation of the software because I already had it installed. I don't want to reinstall it, but it is a simple Windows installation or Mac OS installation if you have that. Now, the biggest thing that I had trouble with is you really need to use a USB 2.0 port. For me at least, because using a USB 3.0 port directly on my laptop kind of failed for some reason. I really only could connect it to a USB 2.0 port. And then we can go here and we can see our calculator right here. We're going to go ahead and select that calculator and it will load up this. Now, the biggest things here is we need to copy over our installation here of our update, and we're going to update the operating system. We wish to continue, and yes, this will simply update the operating system of our calculator. So we're going to let this run, and then we're going to continue from there. So now that the OS file has been successfully transferred, the handheld will now actually install the OS. So we now disconnect the handheld if we want, and we will let it load back up. Okay, now that the calculator is fully updated and reinitialized, we are going to continue this process. So we are going to once again connect our calculator up. Simple as that. And we are now going to create a folder. We're going to name this folder Ndless. Now we will be also moving our app in wherever you want to put it. I'm going to put it on my root directory. Then going into the Ndless folder, we are going to go inside our Ndless zip folder here, and we are going to grab the Ndless resources here. We're going to copy that over, and we're going to grab the Ndless installer we need, in this case a 4.5.5 here. Now that we have all these files on the calculator, we are good to disconnect the calculator, and let's move on to the calculator. Alrighty, now that we are back at the calculator with all the files transferred over and everything, we are good to start the actual Ndless stuff. Now, Ndless only stays for as long as the calculator is turned on. So once the calculator turns off all the way and you boot it back up, you will need to reinitialize the Ndless exploit. So to begin, we're going to go to settings with 5, and we are going to go to status with 4. We can now see our version is on 4.5.5.79, and we are going to go to this About section. Here we will see our current boot 1 code version is 3.0.0.99. With this information, we are going to go to the home page. We are going to go to My Documents. We are then going to go to the Ndless folder we created, and we will open the Ndless installer for our version. Here it will be asking us whether we want to press 3 or 4 for boot 3 or 4. Now with this calculator being boot 3, I will be pressing the 3 on the calculator. It will then do its installation process, which again will only last for as long as the calculator is powered on. Now when the calculator sleeps, it will still be installed. However, when it does fully power off after a couple of days of non-usage, you will need to reinitialize Ndless. Now that Ndless is activated, we can now go back to My Documents, and in this case we can go to Crafti for the test process that we installed, and it will simply load up, and here we go. So this is Crafti. We control it kind of funky, with the touchpad being View, with 4, 6, 2, and 8 being movement, as well as 7 be place, and 9 be break. 1 being change item, as well as 3 be change item. I have not checked all controls for this game. However, it is a very fun tech demo to look at running on a calculator. So back on the computer, on the Ndless web page, we will find our apps down here at the bottom of the page. Now, as these example apps you see, there is a Python coder, obviously the regular math here that you can do, but you also have Quake, I believe that is what that is. I don't know my video games, sorry. As well as another Minecraft kind of inspired game, not Crafty in this case, or maybe this is an earlier version of Crafty. I don't really know what's being shown here, but overall there is a bunch you can do with Ndless. So at the bottom of the page, you will see these two apps, or these two websites, I mean, and I've been using TICalc.org for this. And as you can see, there's educational TI-Nspire things, there's games, graphics, all the libraries, the math, the media, everything. And you can just kind of mess around with this stuff, have a lot of fun with it. And overall, messing with this has been quite fun. That's about it for this video. I hope you really enjoyed this kind of different video that I'm making. Once again, as the beginning stated, comment any feedback. I really appreciate any feedback, even if it's a dislike. Give me the feedback. It tells me a lot. But yeah, that's about it for now. Have a nice day. Bye.